So on Sunday, Anthony Richardson suffered another injury, which is becoming a common theme for him early in his career here in Indianapolis. And this time it's a much more serious injury. Earlier today, it came out from Adam Schefter that the Colts have officially placed Richardson on the IR. He's expected to miss between 4 to 8 weeks with a AC joint sprain after getting tackled in Sunday's game versus the Tennessee Titans. And so it's just tough when you spend, your number 4 pick on a QB who's come in and when he's been healthy has played incredibly well. I think that, coming into the draft, there were lots of ideas that he was pretty raw and would take time to develop and grow until he became like a really solid quarterback. But so far, he's looked really, really good. Looked like he's pretty poised back there in the pocket. Big, physical, strong. You can see his arm strength. You can see his ability to move around the pocket, his speed. He's just unfortunately already experienced 3 different injuries, a concussion, a knee injury, and now this AC joint sprain. And so I think the real question for Richardson is, can he stay healthy going forward? Has this just been, just an unfortunate, unlucky scenario in these first 5 weeks of the NFL season? Or is this something that the Colts are going to have to deal with for years and years to come? And I hope that isn't the case. I'm looking at the situation, and when you see a young guy who's so talented, I think he really could be one of the next great quarterbacks in the NFL, a top 5 guy in the next couple seasons as he grows with Shane Steichen, with these receivers, with Michael Pittman, 3rd rounder, Josh Downs, who's played really good, a solid running game, a solid offensive line. I think he has the potential to be a very, very good quarterback. And the only thing that can really hold him back from doing that, I believe, after seeing just how talented he is out there on the field, is if these injuries continue. And the real truth of the situation is we just don't know right now because, yes, 5 weeks in, he looks injury prone. But I think we have to give it some more time before we really know if this is going to be something that continues to hold him back. If it is, it's obviously very unfortunate for the Indianapolis Colts. And so we can all hope that this doesn't continue, that when he comes back from this AC joint sprain, he can be fully healthy, fully ready to go, because it would be sad if the NFL doesn't get to see this guy really grow into, I think, the potential that he has. And so now if we look at the future here in Indianapolis with Richardson out for the next at least 4 games, Gardner Minshew is going to be the starter, and he's played really well when Richardson went down early in the season, has come in 3 different games, started 1 game. The Colts have won all 3 games where Minshew played, and I do think Minshew is slightly underrated. He's been a backup, of course, the past couple seasons, but if you look at his career stats, since 2019 when he got drafted in the 6th round by the Jacksonville Jaguars, he has 46 touchdowns to 15 interceptions, a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, which is pretty solid. If we look at his stats so far this season, he's 57 of 83, a 68.7% completion percentage, 553 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and has the 12th best passer rating in the NFL. And so I think if you look at this Colts team, the fact that right now they're sitting at 3-2, tied with the Jacksonville Jaguars at the top of the AFC South, and I think this is a pretty nice situation for Minshew just because you have some solid receiver options with Michael Pittman playing really, really well, with Josh Downs, 3rd rounder, as I already said, playing well for a rookie, the second, leading receiver here on this Colts team. And then the fact that you have a running game. I mean, a running game is, one of the best weapons for any quarterback. Is if you have a running game that can get things done, obviously it opens up things in the passing game when defenses have to come in, stack the box, and try to really prepare for the run. It opens up things for the offense, and I think we've seen that not only with Anthony Richardson, but also with Gardner Minshew as well. And so when you have Zach Moss, who had a crazy game last week, which is funny that he did it, a few days after they decided to give Jonathan Taylor the massive contract extension for running backs at least. And so when you add all of that up, I think the Colts have a pretty good chance the next 2 games, even without Richardson, to still be in these games and to still have a chance to come out and win lots of these. If we look at the next 4 games for the Colts, which will at least be the minimum that Richardson sits out because he is on the IR, which means you have to miss 4 games. We got the Jaguars next week. The Colts already lost to them early in the season, and I think that'll be a tough one for them to win just because Trevor Lawrence is playing really well. I think that'll probably be a loss, but I think they can still be in it. The Browns, I think that's a winnable game. The Saints, they've been up and down at times. I think that could still be a winnable game for the Colts. The Panthers, definitely a winnable game. So these are some winnable games even without Anthony Richardson, and I think because you have Shane Steichen, who's an incredible play caller, he's shown it time and time again, recently coming from Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts, The Colts have a very solid offense, and right now, 11th best scoring offense in the NFL. And I think the only thing holding them back right now is their defense. 22nd ranked scoring defense in the NFL, 28th in yards allowed per game. So it's not like this is a team that's going to come in and win 9, 10, 11 games. I feel like this is more of like a 7, 8 win team, even with Gardner Minshew, which I think just sort of shows the Colts did a good job signing Minshew as a backup this offseason. If you want more NFL content like this, feel free to subscribe down below. I put out about 3 videos like this per week.